Today we're going to be going over what is better, putting my money inside an IRA or instead should I be putting it inside a 401k or a 403b. Now, first of all, who is allowed to open up a 401k or a 403b? You see, the only people that are allowed to open up these types of accounts are people who work for corporations or companies that offer this as one of their retirement accounts where you can put money into it out of your paycheck on a monthly basis. But now most people that work for large corporations are offered something called the 401k. And if you work for a nonprofit, you're normally offered something called a 403b. At the end of the day, they're both types of retirement accounts that you are offered through your jobs. Now, the way these work is that for every dollar that you put into these accounts, many times these organizations will match you and they will put money into these accounts from their pocket. So that means that if you're making $100,000 a year and you're putting in 5% of your income, which is $5,000 every single year, then that means that now they're adding an additional $5,000 if that company or that organization matches you for a grand total of $10,000 going into that account every single year. So in simple words, this means that it's free money. And yes, in addition to that, any money that you put in out of your own paycheck, you also don't have to report it on your income tax, so you get a tax deduction as well. Now remember, not all 401ks and 403bs you get matched on. You need to make sure that you're speaking with your human resource department to find out if the organization that you work for actually matches you for putting money into these accounts. Now, there are a few limits that you need to follow. Normally, if you have a 401k or a 403b, you're only allowed to deposit into those accounts about $22,000 to a maximum of about $30,000 per year, and it all depends on your age. Now, once the money goes into these accounts, what happens with the money once it goes in there? So you as the owner of the account now have the choice to decide on how that account gets invested. But here's the downside. Normally, when you have these types of retirement accounts, they offer you a menu of funds to choose from, and they have everything from very, very conservative funds that make very little money, but have very little volatility to the funds. And then they also have funds that have more growth, but they also have more volatility to those funds. Now, unfortunately, your company will not match you money for putting money into an IRA. So in this case, you will get free money by putting money into your 401ks and 403bs, but you will not get that free money from your corporation or the organization that you work for putting money into a traditional IRA. So technically, you are the only one that can put money into this account on a yearly basis. And the maximum that you're allowed to put into a traditional IRA, it ranges between about $7,000 to about $8,000 per year, again, depending on your age. So yes, this means that your 401k and your 403b is allowed to deposit more money into those accounts every single year, which allows you to get a much bigger tax deduction. Now, where IRAs completely destroy 401ks and 403bs is that you have much more options to choose from when it comes to the investment funds that are available. Think about it this way. Having your money inside a 401k or a 403b is like, say, going grocery shopping at CVS or at Walgreens. But now having your money inside a traditional IRA is like going grocery shopping at Costco. It's not that you can't find food to eat there, it's just that you're gonna have much more options to choose from at Costco. And typically, if you have much better options to choose from, your funds can potentially perform even better. This is where you need to make sure that you are working with someone that clearly understands on how to do a rollover from your 401k and your 403b into a traditional IRA. And in addition to that, making sure that you are selecting the right investment mix within that traditional IRA. If you go back and you look at the history of 401ks and 403bs in comparison to traditional IRAs have normally outperformed 401ks and 403bs, and the answer is because you have better investment funds to choose from. So the question is, which one wins? The 401k, the 403b, or the traditional IRA? So the answer is that it all depends on your situation. But now if you ask me, from an investment standpoint, traditional IRAs will normally win as long as the investments selected are well chosen. If you'd like to do a free review of your current retirement accounts through your company, feel free to reach out. Most people, once they're entering the stage of retirement, are able to do what's called a rollover from their 401ks and 403bs into a traditional IRA without triggering any form of taxes and penalties. I really hope you enjoyed today's topic. We'll see you next week.